One of the most frustrating things about being a candidate is not knowing where you stand. You do prep work, you go in, you make a great first impression, you end up leaving and going, I don't know what the chances are I get an offer and I get hired here. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 great questions that you can ask as a candidate during your interview process that'll give you an idea of where you stand and what the chances are that you get a job. I'm not going to give you 20. I'm going to give you 3 because these 3 are great questions to ask, especially the third. So stick around to the end. I like the first 2 a lot too, but that third one, is good. Let's go. Hi everybody, I'm Ben White with Ben Talks Talent. I've got 11 years experience in recruiting, interviewing, and hiring. And I am passionate about using my experience to help you become the best candidate possible and land your next job. In today's video, we're gonna be talking about something that can be frustrating for candidates. We're going to take some of the mystery out of the interview process and help you understand how you rank as a candidate, how you are viewed as a candidate, and what the chances are you ultimately land the job. But before we do that, if you are new here, do me a favor, take 3 seconds, subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. That way you never miss one of my videos. Every week, I'm dropping 2 to 4 videos that in small chunks help you become a more effective interviewer and land more jobs when you are interviewing. And if you are not new here, welcome back. Let's talk about the first question. Now, the first question that I think you can ask in an interview process to give you an idea of how you rank up, where you stand, is what about my profile stood out to you? This is a great, very basic question, but I'm telling you there's a lot of value in here. Now, you can ask this to the recruiter, you can ask this to an HR person, or you can ask this to the hiring manager, so it's pretty versatile in that sense. But what you do when you ask this question is you're kind of, 1, reaffirming their interest in you, but 2, you're finding out what it was about the background that you have that made them want to move forward with you. This is really powerful because they're going to tell you 2 or 3 things that are important to them, right? And their enthusiasm answering this question is going to tell you how interested they are. But more important than the enthusiasm, in my opinion, is knowing what about your background they really liked. That way you can focus on it. When you're answering interview questions for the rest of the current interview, for subsequent interviews, you can kind of hone in on some of the things that you know they are specifically interested in. So this is a great question. I would recommend everybody ask this question at every step of the process. If you're talking to a recruiter, HR, or hiring manager, ask them what about your profile stood out, and then use that information for the rest of the process to be a more effective interviewer. The next question is another good one. I like it a lot, and let's do an example. Let's say the position is mechanical engineer. The question is, how does my experience compare to previously successful mechanical engineers in your department? This is a great question for the hiring manager. You can modify it slightly for the recruiter or HR, but it's really good because it gives you an idea about the people who have been successful previously, and then what do you have in common with them? This, like the first question, is key because what you can do is you can then play up those similarities. If they're gonna tell you about a rock star who used to be on their team or maybe still is on their team and be like, oh, you know what, I have this person and they actually came from the same school or they have the same background, they were in the same industry you're in and then they moved to our industry and that worked really well. Then you know that's important, you know that you can play it up and you know that that's something they value. Again, it's one of those things too where you can hear the enthusiasm. If you hear them talking about it and you hear them go, oh, you know what? You actually have a lot in common with one of the candidates I hired previously. You both did this. Well, that's a really good sign. On the flip side of that, if they go, yeah, I don't know. I don't see the similarities here. And they have a hard time answering it, then maybe that's a tell to you that, okay, maybe I'm not on as solid footing as I would hope to be. And if I want to come out on top here, I'm really going to have to sell myself. It doesn't give you much direction in terms of where you need to sell yourself, but what it does do is it lets you know kind of where you stand, which again is the point of this video. If they say that, here's a tip, kind of a pro tip, counter back to them and go, okay, well, could you tell me about the backgrounds of some of the people who have been successful previously? Because a big key here is they might be missing some of the overlap. They might say, you know what, we had a really good person in this role before and they came from this background or they had this in their prior experience. And then if you have that, that's a great opportunity for you to go, you know what? I actually do have that experience. 2 jobs ago, I was doing a lot of this, and that seems pretty similar to what that other candidate was doing. That might hit a light bulb for them, and they might go, Ben does have a lot in common with someone who is really effective at this job, and that can only help you. Now, the last question, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you have heard this question before because I am passionate about it. It is amazing. I personally, whenever I'm interviewing, I ask this question at the very end of the interview with anybody who's a decision maker. And that question is, do you have any questions or concerns about my ability to do the job? It is an amazing question because it gives you the opportunity to do something you would otherwise not be able to do, counter. If they have concerns, you want to know about it. If they go, Ben, yeah, I'm concerned because you don't have blank. That gives you the opportunity to say, actually, I do have blank. I did this blank. Or you can say, you know what, that's true. I don't have this, but I feel like it's something I'd be able to do based on A, B, and C. It gives you the opportunity to counter their concerns. If you don't ask this question, you don't get that opportunity and you are rolling the dice. Flip side, they go, no, Ben, I actually don't have any questions. I don't have any concerns. Then you can you can respond to them and be like, that's really great to hear. Because I'm excited about this opportunity. I think I'd be really good at it and I'd love to come and work for you and join your team. And it just confirms your interest and it's a great way to kind of close a little bit as a candidate. So there you have it. Those are my 3 questions. If you ask these questions, they're going to give you an idea of where you stand as a candidate. And quite frankly, I'm of the opinion that it is always better to have more information than less. So I ask these questions so I can find out, where do I stand? What is the probability of me getting the job? And how do I need to change my plans according to the information I'm receiving here? Good luck in your next interview. You've got this.